Let's take the discussion forward with Coromandel International and Mr. Sankarasubramanian as Executive Director is joining us now. He of course also looks after the nutrient business, but Coromandel is a name to reckon with in the space. So we'll talk about overall business as well. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. The main headline which is catching attention of viewers and investors right now, beyond your numbers actually, is the 1,000 crore capex which you guys have lined up. Now broadly, organizations or businesses in your line of business have been going through a rough patch lately because of anemic demand domestically and overseas dumping by Chinese players and a combination of all of this. In that, you are coming out and preparing yourself for higher capacities, 1,000 crore capex. What exactly are you seeing ahead because of which you are taking this 1,000 crore capex, and what is it about? Backward integration, or what piece does it add up into the company?
Good afternoon, Ajay. Thanks for talking to us. As you know, Coromandel operates one of the largest fertilizer plant at Kakinada. We produce close to 2 million tons there. And currently, two key raw materials, phosphoric acid and sulfuric acid, required for fertilizer manufacturing is imported predominantly. And some portion of it we receive from our another unit at Vizag. So as part of our backward integration strategy, so we have been increasing our raw material linkages. We have recently commissioned a sulfuric acid plant at Vizag and ensured that a major portion of sulfuric acid need at Vizag is taken care. Similarly, at Kakinada, we wanted to create at least 50% of raw material security. As part of this strategy, we have now come up with phosphoric acid plant, which can produce 200,000 tons per annum, and also sulfuric acid plant of 6 lakh tons per annum. And both these plants will meet more or less 50% of our requirements at Kakinada. Besides securing raw materials, we are also in a position to generate power from the waste heat of sulfuric acid plant, which almost generate 18 megawatt of power, which meets close to 100% need of Kakinada NPK plant. In this current challenging environment with the geopolitical challenges, there are challenges in securing raw materials. I think this step of backward integration by Coromandel will definitely ensure raw material security and also capture the value chain for Coromandel. And also, as you are aware, recently invested in mining at Senegal, and we have been stabilizing operations there. And we hope to ramp up the volumes at Senegal in the next 2 years. So by which time, if this plant is ready, the major portion of our rock needs will be met from Senegal as well. So it's a complete end-to-end game plan of securing raw materials as well as to capture the value chain, which can sustain the earnings for the nutrient business space.
Right. Also, I want to understand that which financial year will these efforts which you're taking will start adding into the company? How much time does it take basically for this capex to benefits to start coming into the financials?
The Coromandel has been fairly on dot in terms of timely implementation of projects. If you know, recent sulfuric acid plant, we could implement in a record time of 15 months. And this project, since it involves both phosphoric acid and sulfuric acid, we are looking at completing this project in 2 years time frame. So hopefully in the early part of the financial year 26-27, both the plants should be up and running. So that's our plan as of now.
Right. A very good afternoon to you, sir. This is Shello, so joining in the conversation. That's all about your capex and where do you see those benefits trickling in. But regarding, let me talk about the earnings then that have gone by for the quarter. Strong 20% volume growth in the crop protection segment. What factors contributed to the growth? Also, do you plan to, or do you think that this sort of a growth is sustainable going ahead? And also, what's your EBITDA margin looking like in the years to come?
I oversee the nutrient space, so I prefer to confine myself on the fertilizer aspect. But overall, as a business, as Coromandel, we have been growing well, and we have taken a lot of initiatives in crop protection space, which has helped in realizing the volumes and the margins. And the last year has been pretty tough for the crop protection industry segment as well. So going forward, the company has got the right strategy in place to grow the business and volume, and you will see positive traction in the future periods.
There is also a word on the street. I speak with some of the people in the industry. They are saying that on a normal monsoon, the probability of which is rising now, there could be improved demand in the next few months. What is your own understanding? Do you see fertilizer and agri-chem demand to improve in India domestically next few months?
Now, of course, the last Rabi season has been pretty tough, especially southern markets. We had challenges on rainfall. With a good prediction of monsoon, we do expect the buoyancy to come back into the fertilizer space. In spite of adverse monsoon situation last year, still the industry has witnessed growth in volumes and consumption. The farmers' resilience and switching over crops has helped in sustaining the production and as well as the sale. And we do expect the Kharif next year is going to be very good in terms of volume offtake. Currently, there has been an increased inventory in the system, but we do expect with the onset of monsoon by end of May, we expect significant volumes to come back in the Kharif of this year. And I do expect that crop production volume also can come back to normalcy next year, which has been severely impacted last year due to adverse monsoon situation.
Right. Just one last word before we let you go. There is also talk that after elections, I mean, the probability of which is that the current government may continue, but whatever the case might be, there is talk that government may actually take up a lot of reforms in the agri-chemical and the domestic fertilizer space over and above the initiative they are taking of reducing subsidies and of course making the nano urea, etc. What areas of domestic agriculture chemical space do you think some of the reform works are required, and how availability, better pricing and distribution of fertilizers and agri-chem can be done? Anything as an industry participant in your mind which requires attention?
So Coromandel has been strongly advocating Atmanirbhar in fertilizer sector, and government has been supporting this initiative. In fact, our decision to invest in backward integration is a step towards the government initiative of making India self-sufficient in fertilizer. Our dependence on imported raw materials will come down significantly, and government has been encouraging this type of investment, especially in the phosphatic sector. And also, government has been supportive of the new technology products. And as Coromandel, we have also poured into nano space, and we have got nano DAP as well. And fortunately, this year has been good in terms of the subsidy disbursement as well. So I think going into the next year, we do expect that the policy momentum continues, and the freedom to operate is there for the companies like Coromandel to backward integrate as well as to introduce new products that will augur well for the industry as a whole. And we do expect that sort of a policy reform to happen in the near future.
All right, then we leave it there. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the show to talk about nutrient business as a whole, as well as what are the Capex plans coming in for Coromandel International and when those benefits will start trickling in. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.